everybody, welcome back to Holt Growers. I'm your host Timothy Holt, and today is gorgeous. So I'm going to be doing some work out here in the front yard, specifically with the apple tree behind me. It's going to go away today, and in its place, we're going to put this thing called a Crystal Imperial Red Rose Bush. That's the plan, so stay tuned and let's get to it. Alright, so we cut out the apple tree and got the roots out of there, most of them. The roots that are still there are going to eventually decompose, so I'm not overly worried about it. We've got a rose bush in place right here, and for those of you wondering, what I did is I took a process called easy beds, which is where you take the grass, the sod, and you flip it upside down, because eventually the grass is going to fill back in anyway. So I just flipped it upside down, kill off quite a few of those weeds, and then the grass will fill in around this bush. So what we have left is we need to water it and make sure it's saturated completely so it comes out of dormancy and grows well. Hopefully it should give us some roses by the end of the season and look a lot nicer than our apple tree falling over. So what we're using for water is this bucket. It's rainwater that's been collecting in the backyard. So rainwater is good. It's naturally provided. It's got no contaminants or chlorine or anything of that nature that we don't want. It's nice and clean for this plant. And since it's going to be watered naturally most of the time with rain, rainwater is good to get it started. And we're just going to take one bucket and just saturate the entire hole. Now the nice thing about this too is you might not be able to see in the video, but there is a slight mound here from that apple tree. When we put it in, we added quite a bit of dirt here and built this up into a mound. As a result, you can see that water just soaks right in. There's also good quality soil that we used with the apple tree when we put it in a few years ago. I'm rather disappointed that it didn't grow well and didn't go straight up, but it was leaning pretty heavily, and before long it would eventually fall over. And definitely don't want that to happen on one of our vehicles, which you might be able to see. So rosebush will stay a lot smaller, a little easier to manage as well, and give us some beautiful flowers here in the front yard. So just want to saturate the entire thing. Try to keep it towards the base and let that soak in, because that's going to give it the clue to come out of dormancy. So a lot of these roots are from the apple tree that will eventually decompose, which is fine with us. Now, as far as leaves or dirt or any debris in this rainwater, that's again not a problem. That just adds a little fertilizer. So also, based on the instructions from the nursery, we do not want to fertilize or use any feed right away with this particular plant. We just simply want to let it do its thing, come out dormancy. Eventually we might add a little feed growth, but we don't need to worry about that right now. So now that it's got a full bucket of water, we're just going to let it sit and check on it on a daily basis, make sure it doesn't need any more watering. So thank you for watching and tuning in. Like I said, this is a rose bush. You do need to be careful with them. That's why I'm wearing these gloves, because all rose bushes that I know of have these thorns, and they hurt. So make sure if you're going to plant a rose bush, you give it plenty of sun. It needs at least half-day sun, good quality soil. We did not add any new soil to the mix here because we already have good quality here from that apple tree. So hopefully this will grow well, and by the end of the summer we should have a nice bush here. So